Welcome to Imaginative Visions, Page Turners, where we discuss books, and down the line, we'll be interviewing authors behind those books as well. And today, for our first book that we are going to be discussing, I am just a little bit backstory for me, folks. I am a huge professional wrestling fan. And one of the things I love to do is read books based off the lives of my favorite professional wrestlers. I read The Rock Says back in the days. Shows my age. I read Nick Foley's Have a Nice Day. I read Shawn Michaels' autobiography, Bret Hart's autobiography. So I am really huge, especially like my professional. I fell in love with wrestling at the age of 4. My dad introduced me to it. I remember watching WrestleMania 6 with Ultimate Warrior versus Hulk Hogan. I was a big Hulkamaniac at the time, not anymore. But I was a huge Rock fan, Attitude Era. I've never stopped watching professional wrestling. So I've been through the phases of all of WWE, from the new generation, the Hogan era, the new generation era, the Attitude Era, the ruthless aggression era, the PG era, and now I think they call this the reality era, or I forgot what era Triple H is calling this now. But today, the book that we are going to be discussing is one of my favorite female wrestlers. She is a trailblazer in the WWE. She is one of the four horsewomen, and she is the man, and no doubt about it. We are talking about Becky Lynch and her book, excuse me, I should say Rebecca Quin and her book, Becky Lynch, the man, not your average girl. And just to prove how much of a wrestling fan I am, of course, if I'm talking about Becky Lynch and I don't have her shirt, that's the next best thing. There we go. Seth freaking Rollins shirt on just for this review. And as always, I'm going to give you a quick overview or description based on what we read right here. So I'm going to read this to you so you can get an idea of what the book's about. So how I'm going to be approaching these book discussions, I'm not going to be doing the breakdown science of the writing style. I'm just going to be talking about what I thought about the book. Was it enjoyable for me? So yes, I might be using some key literary elements and terms. So I might be saying I like the imagery used, I like the foreshadowing used if it's like a fiction, but this is an autobiography. So I'm going to talk about how engaging I was. Did it keep me reading? Is this something I couldn't put down? But if it's on page turners, kind of gives it away that this is a page turner, right? Like I had to keep reading it. So let's get into a quick overview of it. So here we go. Raised in Dublin, Ireland, and Catholic in a Catholic family, Rebecca Quin constantly invented new ways to make her mother worry. Roughhousing with the neighborhood kids, hosting secret parties with her parents were away, enrolling in a warehouse wrestling school, nearly breaking her neck, and almost kneecapping a WWE star before her own wrestling career even began. And she's always in search of a thrilling escape from the ordinary. Rebecca's childhood love of wrestling set her on an unlikely path for few female wrestlers to look for guidance. Rebecca pursued a wrestling career, hoping to change the culture and move it away from the disrespect so often directed at female athletes who grace the ring. Even as a teenager, she knew that she would stop at nothing to earn space among the greatest of our time and to pave a new path for female fighters or female wrestlers. From decades of journal entries, Rebecca's memoir offers a raw, exclusive, and honest depiction of the complex woman behind the character Rebecca Quin plays on TV, and that woman she plays is right here, the man, Becky freaking Lynch. First off, I gotta say, obviously, spoiler alert. Obviously, I enjoyed it because it wouldn't be on page turns if I didn't. I really, really enjoyed this book. One thing I really liked about the writing style and the way how she approaches it, it feels like a podcast. And just reading it and reading the descriptions and reading how she words things, it just felt like you're having a conversation with Rebecca. Also, what I like about it is like the way she labels her chapters. The way she labels her chapters, she breaks it down like it's a show or, like I said, a podcast season. So she has season one, the growing years, which is basically about her childhood. You have episode one, the entrance, episode two, the jumpstart. Just to give you an idea, season two goes into the Wonder Years, which is episode one, the high flyer, or episode 13, the uppercut. And then you have the final season, Welcome to the Big Time, is when she makes a big break in the WWE. Episode one. This is awesome. Nice East. She has Easter eggs here for wrestling fans. So things that you can see, like TLC, tables, ladders, and cancer, which was a real heartbreaking chapter there. Episode 16, bloodbath, and things of that nature. So for those who are wrestling fans, you're gonna spot the Easter eggs within the titles. She gives shout outs in her titles for wrestlers such as the Road Warriors, Heartbreak Kid, Shawn Michaels. And one thing I have to stress here, because I know I'm talking about these wrestling terms and it might sound alien to people who are not familiar with professional wrestling. One thing I like about Rebecca's book, Rebecca explains each terminology either by indication or she says it if in the chapter about what that is. For example, babyface. For those who are not familiar what a babyface is in wrestling terms, babyface is a good guy. A heel is a bad guy. So Rebecca makes sure that you understand the terminologies. That way you're not reading this and having to pick up your cell phone and go, what's a baby face? Let me go check that out. Oh, okay, that's a bad guy. So that's something I really did really like about it is that she makes sure that those who are not familiar with the professional wrestling world really will understand what the professional wrestling world is about with the terminologies. Now, what did I think about the book? Loved it. Loved it. This was inspiring. It is one hell of a journey. And what I like about it too is that the way she approaches it, the way the writing style is, as I said before, it felt like she was talking to me. It felt like I was in a room with her and we're just having a conversation as she's breaking down her life. The way she approaches her writing is that she's definitely sarcastic. She's sarcastic, she's snarky, but she also has those times where she's getting serious, especially in those times where she's going through things that was self-doubt or she's going through anorexia, she's starving herself because she has to get her body a certain way or she's feeling inadequate about her weight because she was a chubby kid back in the days. No spoilers, but I had to use that as an example. And she approaches things through her eyes, and you get to really feel for who the woman is. And that's just credit to her writing. That's just credit to how the way she presents the story. And you really get to she really does good with imagery because she really paints a picture of the matches and how detailed the matches are, the turnbuckles, what moves, what suplexes are, things of that nature. So she really gives you a lot of imagery to really describe. She used a lot of descriptive words to really describe what the gym looks like when she first started training in Ireland, what Ireland looks like. So she approaches this from an actual novel lens, but it has the autobiography flair to it. If you understand, if that makes sense to you, and it's also her voice. You can definitely tell it's her writing style, her voice. And I was engaged. I finished this in 2 weeks. It would have been less if I didn't obviously have other obligations, but I was really impressed by it. Her story is really inspiring. It's motivating. It's something that you're going to cheer for. And one thing I also do like, because you know how some autobiographies, people do not take accountability for things that they've done. Rebecca does. Rebecca will be the first one to tell you, yeah, I was a bitch. I was being the bitch here, or I wasn't the best person, or I wasn't in the right headspace for this particular situation. And maybe in hindsight, looking back, I could have did things differently. And that is something I really respect about it because sometimes you read autobiographies and it's nobody's fault. It's always the other person's fault and I didn't play a role in this. I'm the victim, victim, victim. Not here. She does some stuff sometimes which just makes you go, eh. Especially how she's constantly in the book talking about how hardworking her mom is and how much of annoyance she gave her mom and how much of a headache she gave her mom because she was out there partying, she was out late, and typical teenage girl stuff that teenagers do. And another good thing is you really get to see a little bit glimpse of her life because she shares old photos of her life that I thought was really good too. You get to see how she grew up. So all the imagery that she used, some pictures down the line help you. So like when she was talking about her first day, at wrestling school. You see the picture right there. You see Finn Balor and everything else. Stone Cold Steve Austin, Seth Rollins, a spicy picture of Seth Rollins, her daughter and everything else. So it's a really wonderful read. I really did enjoy this one. If you like, definitely I will highly recommend this. If I'm going to give this a recommendation, oh hell yes. Hell yes. It's engaging. It's really good. It's really well written. I really enjoyed her journey. And at the end of it all, even through the whole grind and the glitz and the glamour of everything that she has achieved, she's still just that little girl from Ireland that had a dream, achieved her dream, kept it humble, and is enjoying the fruits of her labor right now. And I really did enjoy this one. It is a dream. It's a story about pursuing your goals and not letting obstacles, because boy, did she face obstacles. I mean, when you realize how she was viewed compared to the other three other horsewomen, when you see how people viewed her in the ring because of her body size and things of that nature, there is no, you get to see why this particular persona really kicked off and really took her to main event WrestleMania 35. And really great book. Highly recommend this. This is definitely a page turner. I couldn't put it down. Well, obviously, I had no choice because obviously work and other obligations. But if I didn't have a choice, I would have probably read this in 3 days or 2 days max. So this is Justin from Imaginative Vision. If you read Becky Lynch, The Man, Not Your Average Girl by Rebecca Quin, comment below. Let me know. What did you think about it? What did you think about her journey? What did you think about the writing style? What did you think? Did you find things funny? Did you like the way it was writing? Was it easy to read? Was there something that you couldn't put down? And thank you, as always. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and keep it locked here at Imaginative Visions. We'll catch you on the next one. I'm going to give this Becky Lynch, The Man, a must read. Later days.